What use is it?
No, think. That's no.
That's gonna happen anyway, Karl.
Yeah, but think of what you're saying. They've grown a monkey testicle on a mouse to see if it would still function as a monkey's testicle, okay? So they can do that to humans. So think, Karl. What they'd do is, they'd grow a human testicle on a mouse, and it could still be used as a human testicle.
So what?
To give you a testicle that you've lost.
From a mouse?
No, from another person who it was kept alive on a mouse. Because it's kept the nutrients alive, as opposed to keeping it a deep freeze. Maybe bollocks go off after a week. I don't know. Maybe they get accidents. He had a little a card. Do you donate your testicles? Yeah, I'll tell you what. No one needs testicles yet. Let's keep them on a mouse. You have yours ripped off in some sort of bizarre skiing accident. You go, well, you go in a Battersea dog town. You pick the ones you want. They can grow them on anything. They can grow them on a Dachshund. Bulldogs are growing them usually, that's where you see a bulldog. Usually that's waiting for an operate. What don't you understand, Karl?
Hang on a minute, I thought this was knob news, not testicle time. I don't understand what
the testicle time's not for another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's all sort of linked and that though, isn't it?
Well, sometimes it's linked to a mouse.
But what do you think about, like, I don't know, testing stuff out like that? Is it worth it? Could you not just go straight from...
But listen, Karl, I'm getting this information from you.
No,
if this was on Question Time and someone said there were, Dimbleby and Paxman or whoever said it, I'd think about it as a moral dilemma. You've just said you saw a mouse with a monkey testicle. What do you think of that? I don't think any of it. I don't think anything of it is the answer, Karl, because I can't trust the info. I cannot trust anything that comes out of your mouth.
Well, it's true, but it's just all this, it's the same thing, innit? It's the leeches in a blender, it's the fella looking at an electron.
Yeah.
It's the mouse with an ear on its back.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point is.
But you don't read on. Because I've seen you read somewhere, and you're going, look at that, man survives on eating knee. And I go, what else? You go, I didn't read on. I didn't read on.
You look at the mouse with the ear on the back, and you just think, that must be murder at a concert. You don't think. You don't think.
No, I just think, is it worth sort of wasting
You think he swallowed someone's ear? He gnawed it away and swallowed it, and it's just in his system?
Yeah.
No, I just get a bit sad about the mice and...
I agree. I mean, that is sad, yeah. Of course, anything like that is awful.
But saying that, I remember ages ago, they have a load of people on Oxford Street. Don't know if you've seen them, where they get you to sign stuff.
Yeah.
And the woman got annoyed with me, right, because she was saying about, drugs with animals, testing them out, and stuff like that, which is bad. But, and I was saying, yeah, it's really bad, and I was looking at the pictures and that. But I said, what would happen, if like, the drugs, aspirin, and the monkey's got headache, is it such a bad thing? She got annoyed, didn't want to listen anymore. It's a good point though, isn't it? At what point is it cruel to test stuff out and things?
Yeah.
Give it some Nurofen. It's happy.
Yeah, well, I bet that mouse had, headache. Because everything must have been loud. The other mice squeaking must have done its head in.
Yeah.
Oh, that would give him a
Turn that
Nurofen.
radio down.
Give him a Nurofen, please.
But listen, are we gonna get, Rockbusters out of the way quickly?
Go on then, quickly.
Might as well do it, it's not gonna take long, is it? Right then, so, 3 clues and that.
Yeah.
Initials of a band and artist.
Yeah.
You can win some stuff. Steve can go through the...
Ladder 49 better be in there.
Oh, let me check.
Just quickly,
It's Ladder 49.
You get on with those clues and I'll tell you what's happening.
And this is the last time, the winner of this...
No, we'll do it again next week.
Oh, is it? And then there'll be 6 people, and we just draw someone out of a hat to win the signed Homer, the, Nigel Tufnell, and the Asses Flammals.
Right, you ready then?
But they've got great prizes. They've got Alias, they've got
Alias, they've got The Aviator, a Batman cartoon series, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, atrocious film, and Ladder 49, there it is.
Brilliant.
It's in there.
Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta. Their greatest challenge lies in rescuing one of their own.
Brilliant. Go on then, Karl.
Right, the first one then. When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. How can that work? What's going on there? The initials there. I-H. Right? It's a band or an artist, a singer. Something like that. I-H. They're the initials, the clue.
I've got it.
When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. Right?
I've got it.
Right then. Well, don't say anything. Works, doesn't it?
No.
Second one, that garden tool, it's not yours. What are you doing with it? Right?
Yeah.
That garden tool you're messing about with there, it's not yours.
Yeah.
Give it back.
What's that?
ND. ND. Right? Artist or a band. What's going on there, right? Third one. That male sheep sounds fed up. Why is he fed up? Right? TR. TR's the initials. That male sheep sounds fed up. What's going on? If you know the answers to them three, email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, or you can text in 83XFM. Alright?
Great prizes. You can win yourself a copy of Ladder 49.
Foo Fighters. Best of You on XFM 104.9. Alright, Karl? You calm down now about science.
It just does me head in, a lot of this stuff. I think I would have been better off sort of growing up in the 1940s or something.
Why?
Where there isn't as much science going on, people just lived, didn't they, for the moment.
So
You know what I mean?
well, but what if you'd had to go to war?
What?
What if
Right,
you-
maybe 1945, then I'd be happier. Just after the war. Just that bit after the war and before they started
What
messing
age?
about.
What year would you want to be born?
When was the war over?
45.
Right. 46 then.
But there'd be
Born
rationing.
46.
There's rationing for another 10 years.
56 then.
But there's a lot of science going on.
Oh, forget it. It just annoys me, all the messing about. They're always messing about with stuff, and I sometimes think, is it doing any good? Is what I mean. Mouse with ears, mouse with monkey's testicles. They're messing about with a mammoth now.
Go on.
Well, they're just saying, well, they're managing to knock one together.
Who
And
asked?
you just think, it's from some scientist somewhere. and just messing about.
Andy.
No, but it's just, do we need, I mean, we've done it before about the do we need them thing. The amount of creatures and insects and that are knocking about. You got that caterpillar that I mentioned walking about, it doesn't know where it's going. Get rid of them. The mammoth. The world's busy enough, it's crowded, it's overcrowded now. How much room are they going to take up? Do you know what I mean?
Why are they doing it, Karl? Do you know? All you know is that they're trying to muck around with
Because
them.
they can, because that's all it is, isn't it? Because they can. They're messing about, someone's
Yeah.
being paid to do stuff.
What else are we here for? If not to try stuff out. What else are we here for?
What do you mean?
Well, what are we here for?
Just to enjoy life, isn't it?
Well, some scientists enjoy knocking a mammoth together.
No, but don't worry about the mammoth. It died out. Maybe it died out for a reason. Why didn't Noah say that if it was important?
Because Noah, what did you mean? Noah's not true, is it?
Well, I don't know. There might have been some truth in it.
What truth in it? That he put two of every animal that existed into an ark. How big was this then? Why didn't they eat each other?
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying.
Imagine the noise, Karl.
Yeah.
No,
Trying to get a bit of
there's-
kit there.
There's points to that where I go, that didn't happen, because where could he have been where there was a hamster and an elephant and a crocodile? Where was he? Do you know what I mean?
But none
I'm
of it's
saying-
true. What bit do you believe?
What do you mean?
It got a bit wet.
What are we talking about? The mammoth or the...
No. What is up with you?
No, it's just that we had a
No,
lot...
seriously, have you got brain damage?
No, it's just that we had a lot of topics going on there. I just don't know which...
No, we were talking about Noah. And then you suddenly go, I know where did we, what, the mammoth or Noah, what? What you did, none of it's true. What, think of it. Oh, God. Think of the first thing. Build an ark. Alright.
Can I just clarify, what's an ark?
It's a big boat thing.
Right. I've never had any experience of
Just
carpentry.
build a big boat thing.
But I don't make...
Just have a go, don't worry, you'll be alright, I'll make
Right.
sure it's alright.
But once I've built that, I mean, how big should I build it? What am I...
Very big, it needs every animal, two of
Ooh,
every
let's
animal,
not be
go
fair.
on, every
I mean, the
animal.
boat building, fair enough.
I told you to make it big.
Right.
Don't worry about the fish, they can swim.
Okay, but so
All
what's
the
thing?
birds.
Like,
Get the flightless ones though, they're drowned. Get the flightless ones, they would, not the penguins, they're flightless but they can swim. But all other animals.
I should be writing this down.
But why, I mean, wouldn't you have took that opportunity to go, right, forget the, whatever. Mind you, the jellyfish didn't need to get in it, did it? But there's other animals where you can
We
go,
don't need to be here.
No.
Because Karl is actually having a little argument with his own head. It's like, you remember that comic strip, The Numbskulls?
Yeah.
Where there's loads of people in there doing different stuff, that he can hear them.
Yeah.
And sometimes his own mind puts him off.
Yeah.
Like just then, he has an argument with himself and it puts him off. Right, what's your question?
I'm just saying, don't mess about with a mammoth.
Whoa!
Good,
Okay.
well, what a platform, it's good, you know, we've got a radio show, we've got our own radio show, people are spending money to advertise it, people are actually bothering to listen, and the words of wisdom coming out of your mouth is don't mess around with a mammoth.
Brilliant.
Great. It's time for Rockbusters, the quiz that no one looks forward to, and we've got, as usual, a bunch of CDs, DVDs I should say, which
Just tell me we have got another copy of Ladder 49.
Ladder 49's right here. That's
Brilliant.
in the mix, yeah.
How many did they send you?
Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta, Ladder 49, the movie that no one's seen.
Yeah,
I've never met anyone who's seen it.
but it's owned by every single XFM listener.
Exactly. Also in the mix, as I said before, we've got Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which, if you haven't seen that on telly, I'd be very surprised. French and Saunders at the movie, the best of all the French and Saunders movie spoofs, which is, I think, on TV every single night.
Yeah. It's a very gay giveaway so far,
It's a very
isn't
good
it?
way. Well, this
got
one-
Ladder
this one-
49, the people in uniform, you got Queen of the Desert and French and Saunders,
Well,
the gays love them.
You know how much a fan of Chevy Chase. You know I love Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Well, we've also got here National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, which doesn't feature Chevy Chase. It was so bad, even Chevy wouldn't agree to be in it, so instead Randy Quaid, who plays Cousin Eddie, it's him.
Right.
And on the back I notice it says, special appearance by Eric Idle.
Brilliant.
I mean, let's be honest, if a film's got a special appearance by Eric Idle,
I know.
it's probably not a classic, is all
Do you
I'm
reckon
saying.
they do, Always Walk on the... Look on the bright side of life? That's
Anyways, that's just some of the DVDs which you can win, and obviously the real reason you should enter is because you go forward to this big prize draw, which is in our last show, where you can win some actual quality.
Yeah, a signed, Matt Groening drawing, and if you can see him drawing that on rickygervais.com, it's totally genuine, it's just there, him actually drawing it in front of your very eyes. Also, us, made us, Flanimals, and a signed, poster by Nigel Tufnell. Christopher Guest.
Sure.
So proper good prizes.
Yep.
So this is, I think it should be the last one to get into it. Maybe next week, the 4 that we've got get down to 2 maybe. And then we get them on the line in the last, what do you think?
Well, I'll be honest, I wish we'd thought it through. I don't know about you, but I wish we thought this
Chris
whole thing through.
Campling, if he's got any ideas to how this show could have run, see, we should have scripted this.
What we said, we just said go in a drawer, didn't we?
Did we?
So
I'm
Yeah,
worried-
we hadn't thought it through though.
but we can't keep swapping and changing.
Well, we haven't
we can
done
do what
it
we
yet.
want.
We just, we can do what we want, yeah. You know how many BAFTAs we've won? We can do exactly what we want.
High five.
Well, listen. Right,
Six.
let's get down to business then. Let's get
Right,
down
so
to business.
Rockbusters, let's explain briefly what this quiz is for those that have only just started listening to the show. Basically...
It's basically, blockbusters.
Well, you say that, Rick, but it's not, is it? I mean, that Blockbusters made sense.
Yeah,
This
well,
is
this
just
is the
incoherent.
thing, Carl thinks this is a cryptic clue going, right, a fella is walking along and, oh, look, there's the fish, what does that mean?
No,
Detrout sinners.
some
Well,
of
I
them,
mean,
some of them are hard because they've dug them all
some
out.
are hard because they don't make sense.
No, but they've dug them all out because they're going to put them all on the website for people to play along with, and they came to me for the answers, and some of them are pretty tricky. I couldn't answer them. So,
I love that.
Well, anyway,
the only man that can outwit himself.
right
so-
then. So the first one then, here we go. Why don't you borrow some land off Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher? Alright? Why don't you borrow a little bit of land
Oh, it's changed already.
Already changed.
Already
off
changed.
Mr. Boardman?
Well, no, do it again and do it exactly the same each time. Do it again.
Why
what?
don't you borrow some land off Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher if you need a bit of it?
What's changing?
Okay, and what are the initials?
Right, LS.
LS.
That's a band or an artist. Who am I talking about? Second one. I'm gonna
Sorry, he's got a sweet in his mouth.
I'm gonna annoy those seabirds over there. Right.
I'm going to annoy those seabirds over there.
Well, just those seabirds. It doesn't matter where they are. I'm gonna annoy them seabirds.
I don't know what he's talking about anymore, Steve. Honestly.
B is the initial.
I love the fact that he was fascinated by the strangest village in Britain, but the stories he's told us about where he comes from, there's him going around with 2 fellas with big heads, webbed feet, a little pigeon-chested bloke, him on his grifter with Maggie pecking at him, his dad in the telephone box nicking groceries, and a horse in the house next door. I mean, how strange was his upbringing? And him hanging from his satchel. Unbelievable.
There's another
free.
woman who I remembered. Actually, I'll tell you later.
Go on, what?
I'll tell you later about another woman who I remembered.
What is it? Give us a teaser.
It's just a woman who rode around on a three-wheeled bike with her husband in a basket. I'll tell you right, and the final
You don't get
clue.
teasers like that on any other radio
That's a hell of
station.
a funeral service.
Right, listen. Right, the final clue. What the Scouse fella said to the robber who he found in his house next to his vineyard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? Again?
Right, so what the Scouse fella said
Right, this is going to be a pronunciation thing.
to the robber he found in his house.
Oh God,
which was
I've
next to
lost
his-
the will to live. I want to get in that woman's basket on the street. We'll just be driven round
the
the rest of my life.
initials there, A-W. A-W. Who is it?
Give us the clues, give us the answers.
Right, the first one was, why don't you borrow a little bit of land off Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher?
Go on then.
Right, what am I getting at there? The initials were LS, right? Lease a Stan's field, right? Because you're borrowing it, that's leasing it. It's Stan Boardman, Stan Laurel, and it's a field and that, innit? Second one, I'm gonna annoy those seabirds. That was B. What you doing when you're annoying a bird? You're bugging it. What's a seabird? A gull. Buggles. Right? Bug gulls.
I don't know where to start, mate.
Right, don't worry about it, don't worry
I
about it.
don't know where to start.
third
If we had more time,
Don't worry.
I'd throw him out of a window. Right.
What the Scouse fella said to the robber he found in his house next to his vineyard.
Go on then.
That was A-W.
Yeah.
That was A, me Winehouse. Right?
What?
A, me Winehouse.
What?
Me Winehouse.
What do you mean winehouse?
It's a vineyard, it's a cottage in a vineyard, so that's like a winehouse.
Say it again. What was the clue again?
Amy Winehouse.
Well, yeah, but what do you mean?
Amy.
Why is he saying? Why is it a robber?
Because the robber's getting in and he's sort of saying, hey.
But what's the robber got to do with it? Why is it just a normal bloke? I don't say why is he saying Amy Winehouse? Why is he saying
Because
that?
he's saying to him, hey, get out, kind
Well,
of thing.
no,
Amy Winehouse.
no. Sorry, her
Doesn't
name
matter.
isn't
Anyway,
A. Get Out Me Winehouse. Her
Gavin.
name is. Oh no, her name
It's
isn't A.
Gavin,
Get Out Me
oh,
Winehouse.
Gavin Thompson got them all. Are we going to get Rockbusters out of the way quickly?
Go on then,
Let's do
quick
it.
then.
Might
Give
as
us
well
a
do it.
clue.
It's not going to take long, is it?
Go on.
Right then. So, 3 clues and that.
Yeah.
Initials of a band and artist.
Yeah.
You can win some stuff. Steve can go through the.
Ladder 49 better be in there.
Oh, let
So
me
I'll
check.
just quickly.
It's ladder 49.
You get on with those clues and I'll tell you what's happening.
And this is the last time. The winner of this.
No, we'll do it again next week.
Oh, is it? And then there'll be 6 people, and we just draw someone out of a hat to win the signed Homer, the Nigel Tufnell, and the Asses Flanimals.
Right, you ready
But
then?
they've got great prizes. They've got Alias. They've got.
They've got Alias, they've got The Aviator, a Batman cartoon series, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, atrocious film, and Ladder 49, there it is.
Brilliant.
It's in there.
Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta. Their greatest challenge lies in rescuing one of their own.
Brilliant. Go on then, Carl.
Right, the first one then. When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. How can that work? What's going on there? The initials there. I-H. Right? It's a band or an artist or a singer. Something like that. I-H. They're the initials. The clue.
I've got it.
When I'm ill, I throw up horse food. Right?
I've got it.
Right then. Well, don't say anything. Works, doesn't it?
No.
Second one, that garden tool, it's not yours. What are you doing with it? Right?
Yeah.
That garden tool you're messing about with there, it's not yours.
Yeah.
Give it back. Right?
What's that?
ND. ND. Right? Artist or a band. What's going on there? Right? Third one, that male sheep sounds fed up. Why is he fed up? Right? TR. TR's the initials. That male sheep sounds fed up. What's going on? If you know the answers to them 3, email in. Have you got a winner?
No, I don't even know the answers,
We'll
do
pick
I?
one. Alright then, the first one.
right.
I just got the plastic cup.
Right, the
go on.
first one was, when I'm ill,
Yeah.
I throw up horse food. Right?
Yeah.
That's the clue. The initials were I-H.
I got
Right?
this one.
And that
I must
was,
say, to
that was I sick haze, because when you're ill, you're sick. What do horses eat? They eat hay. I sick haze. I sick haze is the answer. You got that. Second one, that garden tool. That garden tool you've got, it's not yours. What are you doing with it? Right? ND.
that was different.
That was what's a garden tool? A rake. Right? If it's not yours, what have you done? You've nicked it. You've nicked Drake. You've nicked that rake. Nick Drake. Nick Rake. Right? So that's ND. So you got that.
don't know where to
That's
start.
fine, no, that's fine, that's fine.
The third one, that male sheep sounds well fed up.
Go on.
What's up with it? That was TR. That was that ram. It's a ram. That's a male sheep. It's fed up. It's moaning. Ram moans. Ramones. The Ramones. So they got that as well.
I don't know who it was that told them this was behaviour that you could do.
I really want to have cinema police.
Yeah.
Right, you go in there, and if the phone goes off, you get your money back and you're asked to leave.
Yeah.
Straight away. Any whispering, you go, if you whisper again, you know, if you're too stupid
to be able to figure out the plot.
yeah, just, they tell you what age you should be, right, to get that film.
Yeah.
That's it. If you listen and you're not eating and you're not talking, then you should be able to get a film.
Well, I was in the cinema last night, and as I came in, there was a big queue, and as I came in, there was people there, taking a ticket, showing you to your seat. Now, when did it happen that I was no longer able to find my own seat at the cinema? Why is it that I can go in the daytime, I can find I'm left to fend for myself? But now it seems that on a Friday night, there's so many stupid people out there who can't find their decent seat.
No, I think that is policing. I think that's to stop people thinking I'll just sit here and having to deal with it themselves. Because, I mean, if someone was in my seat, even if there was another seat, I'd go, well, no, that's mine. I want lots of policing in social occasions. I want to go into a pub and go, that is too loud, that music. Those people are too annoying, they're standing up, they're too annoying.
I remember being in the cinema once and seeing a guy, he's a big fat guy again, he had popcorn, the hot dogs, the Coke, right, and he had it balanced on this little wall that was sort of separating parts of the cinema, and he was a big fat guy on there, just sat there, I was watching, I think it was Beetlejuice I was watching, and some local hard nuts, they were on the same row, they started kicking the little wall to knock his food off, and I thought, brilliant.
Oh no! I think you want to bully fat people.
Yeah.
Play a record, Carl, it's getting really nasty now.
Can I pick on you?
50 Cent, in the club. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Still arguing, this time about having help from your mum and dad. What do you think, Karl?
No, I don't want this to turn into some sort of wacky type thing where we're pretending we're arguing.
Yeah.
Well, we're not pretending.
We're not pretending, you are arguing.
Yeah, I know, but people will think we're messing about.
Oh,
right?
I wouldn't have thought so.
We just need to, we can talk about it later, sort it out.
Yeah, it's just that Carl's a little bit stressed.
I'm not stressed, though.
And he doesn't really understand that, you know, me and Steve have got lots of different jobs in the week, he's just got one job.
Yeah, and we sort of rely on people getting messages to us, you know, as soon as they get them, you know, and not sort of deleting them from their phone selfishly.
Yeah.
Just things like that, you know, people being on the ball. Not just thinking about themselves all the time, not just thinking about number one.
What do you think, Karl?
Whatever. Do you know what I mean? Whatever.
Don't get all maudlin again. Just having a little discussion. Yeah, this will annoy you. Guess what? Think of this, you little slaphead twat. Apparently, that's so in his arse, Right, apparently, women can get bald treatment on the National Health Service, but men can't. What do you think of that? Do you think that's fair?
Is that a fact?
It's a fact.
We should point out that Karl is, would you say balding?
Yeah.
Would that be fair?
Well, either that or a wide parting.
He looks like Charlie Brown. He's got the same sort of hair arrangement as Charlie Brown.
Yeah, he's
I don't think Charlie was balding though, was he? He was only about 10.
Well, no, but he just had like a couple of things on top, and his hairdo. Carl's had a hairdo that keeps
it's not a hairdo.
No. What is it then? What is it?
It just happened. I've told you. Noel was in once.
Noel who?
Gallagher.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh right, you're on first name terms.
Right. And
from the hood, isn't he?
And whoever was doing the interview said, oh, you know, what will Liam be able to keep up that sort of hard attitude, right? Say when he gets older and he goes bald, and you know, could he still carry off the sort of attitude that he's got? And he was like, no, he'd never have that style. He couldn't have that style that lad's got in there, and pointed at me.
Yeah.
I said, it's not a style. I said, I didn't go to the barbers and say, can you just, like, shave the top bit, leave the sides?
Yeah. Can you move a little square tuck?
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Right, and you were just saying to me, what would you do if you went back in time? I'd probably use a better shampoo.
I wish we could tape the conversations we have off air.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they are ridiculous. What would you do if you go back in time? And the other stuff we were just talking about is obviously can't talk about.
Can I just ask though? Sorry, when did you start to notice it was disappearing? I mean, at what age did it kick in?
I worked a lot. You see, you'll be safe. Do you know what I mean? Your hair will stay there. But it's when I used to do a lot of hours working. And
Yeah, you were stressed and things. Yeah.
stressed out, and it just went.
Well, I'm
I don't
beginning to
know,
understand what stress is like, you know, because I'm not getting messages and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
But probably about, I don't know, 24,
That's unlucky, isn't it?
something like that.
And did you panic, or were you just quite
not bothered.
Not bothered.
He's not bothered. He wouldn't be bothered.
I'm not bothered.
But I don't think for someone who doesn't care about going bald or war or SARS or anything, you don't have to get stressed on a Saturday between 1 and 3.
To be fair, you are worse than all those things. SARS has got nothing on you when you're in the right mood.
But why is it alright for women then to, you know, have a wig? But I couldn't have one if I wanted one.
Well, it's not a wig. They get bald treatment. They actually can get their hair replaced on the National Health, which might be anything, I suppose. Which might be wigs, which might be transplants. I mean, the only cure for baldness is a transplant, which they literally take follicles. They can get down to individual follicles now from the back of your neck, and you know it takes a long time. And you know,
But people will know anyway, won't they?
I don't know when it starts though. I don't know when it starts. Like now, if you started wearing a wig, people go, "Were you wearing a wig because you were bald yesterday?"
Yeah.
You can't start thinking, right, I'm gonna go bald in a year, I'll start wearing a wig now. That's the thing to do, isn't it?
It is really, if you're that bothered, but I wasn't. I just thought, right, it's losing it a bit, shave the lot off.
But did you know you had that round head underneath it? Did you know it was gonna be that funny though? You presumably worn a wig, wouldn't you, if you'd have known? Because I've never seen a head that round.
I think the barber, when they did it, right, the woman said, you can pull that off, you've got a good shaped head for having it shaved. So
She
that's a
meant-
good head.
Yeah, she looks like a tennis ball. You look like a tennis ball when you haven't shaved.
She said if you can pull it off, she said that's like a good thing to see if someone's good looking. If they can have a bald head, it's like Sinead O'Connor,
Yeah.
right? She can pull it off. There's those sort of things. Do you know what I mean?
Telly Savalas.
No, but that's like one of the things. If you look good with a bald head, that means you're pretty good looking.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you can wear a bicycle helmet and look good, that's another thing that like you must be pretty good looking to pull that off.
But who have you seen in the
set
bicycle
those
helmet
rules?
that you think's good? Who have you seen in the bicycle helmet and thought, oh god, they must be good looking, they're good in the bicycle helmet?
Well, everyone. That's what I'm
looks good in
saying.
the bicycle
now.
helmet.
Who?
No one looks good, do they? Really? It's
Not
so
in the bicycle
So
helmet.
would you say Brad Pitt would look good in the bicycle helmet?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to see. But I'm just saying that's like one of the two things really. That's
And what blokes do you think would look good bald? Who do you think would look good bald?
don't know. Give me some names and I'll tell you whether they'd be all right if they're bald.
George Clooney.
No, I don't think he does. I don't think he would do.
Who else?
Well, this could run and run.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, he could probably pull it off. He'd probably look all right.
Do you think he looks alright with hair then?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well done, Rick. Sony Award-winning stuff.
Play a record. And then the guy going, oh, he's stressed. He's stressed. Wild Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington, little bald-heady Karl Pilkington. You quite like being bald, don't you? No fuss.
Like I say, you know, I'll probably won't age for a bit now.
Won't age for a bit? What do you mean you won't age for a bit?
Because I already look quite old.
I don't think so. Not with a hat on, you look really young.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm just saying, so I won't change that much. It's like that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I actually don't think, as long as you shave it, straight back, I can't have you on that. Nothing wrong with it.
But that kid who had that aging disease just shave her head. And she wouldn't age that fast anymore. Do you know what I mean? She's
So
like,
this is the 5-year-old girl who had an awful disease where,
well, we don't know much about it, to be fair.
no, we just know that you fell in love with the title of the programme, the girl that was older than her mum, right? And you were annoyed that people wouldn't serve her fags and alcohol. If she's, you know, she's living like an 8-year-old, let her have a fag.
Doesn't that sum up this show, though? Carl's comment, we don't know much about it.
Yeah.
We're still willing to make comments about it, to discuss it in length and possibly make crass jokes, even though we're ill-informed, as ever.
Yeah.
Right, well, there's something for you, right?
Go on.
This is what I wanted to tell you about, right?
Me.
Yeah, face transplants. There's there's some kid somewhere, right, who had a bit of an odd-looking face,
A
right?
bit of a what?
bizarre looking face.
Yeah.
And, there's a doctor somewhere who said I can sort that out for you. Right?
Sure.
And basically what they do is they've got to get a face off a dead person.
Right.
Sorry, just, in this documentary you saw,
No,
did this documentary feature, say, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage? was it that documentary you saw?
Right, listen, you see...
Go on.
So,
Okay, no, you can't get a face of a dead person, yeah, go
No,
on.
sorry to dismiss the idea of face transplants. Out of hand. But go on.
Go on.
yeah, it's got to be a face of a dead body that isn't older than, like, 4 hours old.
Right.
4 hours dead, whatever. They can take it off, fit it on the new face.
That makes sense. But it's
weird,
not just your
isn't
face that you lose it, but it's the muscle tissue and bones, isn't it, when it's like disfigured? It could be through fire or whatever, or disease or whatever. So they can't just literally plonk a face on, they have to do something else, don't they?
You're asking Karl like he's gonna know.
I forgot then. He looked at it, was that in Russian? Yeah. I wish we could get him on telly just to show the look on his face when I said that.
Yeah.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was, you know when you, go to a cat, hey, we want some food then? And he just looks at you and he goes, it's almost like he can understand what we're saying. Go on.
It's like if you had been caught holding a mallet over a dead body by the police.
What I'm saying is, it would sort of work, yeah. If you peeled your face off and put my face on it, oh my god, why didn't you and Steve, for an experiment, swap faces?
And the great thing is, I wouldn't age.
Yeah. Would you do that if it was safe?
I think I'm getting the rough deal here, though. No, but just going back to.
You sound just like Bob Geldof.
I can't be bothered with this.
He's trying to say.
What can't you bother with?
Just because I think I've got a good point.
What? Don't mess around with a mama.
That's not the point.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, missing work. Well, what are you talking about?
It's just that I think there's too many animals knocking about. I mean, I know you love your cat and what have you. Waste of time, though. What do they do?
Well, they frighten you.
Well, yours is mental, though, isn't it?
He's sitting there, and the cat right behind him, and he nearly shut himself.
Well, your cat is crazy. It does go through. It loves. Because it's got claws, big old claws.
Of course they have. It's a cat.
Yeah, but no, most cats don't come leaping at your ghoulies every time you sit down with a lovely warm hot cup of tea.
Aren't they pointless, though, Steve?
Well, I've always had a problem with pets generally.
But cats the most. I was saying to Ricky about, I don't know why, out of all the animals that Dick Whittington could have took with him on his journey.
Again!
Forget the cat. Forget it. What's he gonna do?
Okay, you've got to walk to London because the streets are paved with gold. You can take any animal. What do you take?
It wouldn't be a cat, because it would keep wandering off. You do double the distance. Try to get it back. Come here. They don't listen to you. I can't be dealing with them.
I agree, you don't get enough affection back from a cat. A dog, it loves you, it can't get enough of you. But cats, they're very snooty.
Well, they're cool, aren't they, cats? They're cool, independent. I like dogs as well, I like all animals. What would you take with you?
What, if I was Dick Whittington?
Yeah.
And where's he walking from? Like,
I don't know, wasn't it Bristol to London or something? I don't know. Again, it's a bit hazy. This isn't well documented.
But couldn't he, I mean, why is he taking a pet and not a mate who... I'm not interested. I try and learn and you don't help.
There's a track from the new Amy Mann album, The Forgotten Arm. It's called She Really Wants You. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Roger and Karl Pilkington.
Brilliant. Talking about, technology, sometimes being a waste of time. Yeah. You know, when you came round the other night, before you came round, I'm sitting there, just at the computer. It's a hot day, wasn't it? As you know, I was in my shorts. I was tucked in. I didn't get them out till you came round. Just my own business. Jane got some wax strips, and she went, "Oh, let me just do your back." I went, "No. Right? I haven't got a hairy back. I've got a couple of wispy hairs on my shoulders, probably about 20 either side. Nothing to worry about. It's not like I look one of those people that's like a gorilla on the beach."
I assume your back looks a little bit like Karl's head.
Exactly, yeah. And she went, "I'll just do this." I went, "No." She put it on the back, and she ripped it off. I went, "Forget it." She went, "I've got to do the other side now." I said, "Forget it." Right? And, oh god. I let her do the other side. It's ridiculous. It's so painful. And I've hardly got any hairs on the back, right? So, it made me think of something that I'd heard about. There's a thing that you can do, and I don't know why, for people with really hairy backs, and people who are hairy all over, okay, called back, crack, and sack. They do your back, and there's some people that do look like little monkeys.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They do your back, they do your arse crack, and they do your balls.
Oh.
In that order. Oh,
Again! Always a question that doesn't matter.
no, it does, because what I'm saying is it done from the top all the way down?
It's not done in one! What do you think? This is huge 30-foot Band-Aid type thing that you're wrapped in and then pulled. It's done a little bit at a time, isn't it?
Right, well, again, it still matters which order. Because if it hurts your back, it's definitely going to hurt the sack. That's what I'm saying. I think... What is it called? Back...
Crack and sack.
Or sack, crack and back?
No, it's called back, crack... I don't know. It's probably a marketing person said we've got it in order.
You can probably choose which order you want them in, Karl.
It's back, crack and sack.
It should be sack. Sack, crack, back. Definitely. It should be sold like that.
Why?
Because like I say, if you're lying there, look, you've had half of your back done. If you went, oh, forget it, right? There is no way you're gonna have the sack done. Is it?
No. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have the crack and sack done anyway.
I don't know why people
I'm not
are
gonna
doing
have a back done. It doesn't need doing.
Where are people going where they've got to worry about the condition of the sack? At what event do you go to and you go, well, I've got to look sharp. I've got to look the part today.
I don't know.
On the sack done.
Nudists?
No, because they're about being natural and that, isn't it? Normally they are airy, like that woman on holiday.
Yeah, the women are, the men aren't.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, they all are sort of pretty airy. They believe in just leaving the body as it is.
I think little gay fellas love it, don't they?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
I don't know. You're a little gay fella, and you've had it done.
Yeah, text in.
Just text in. What's the text thing?
83XFM, just text in, tell us what? I don't know, is there any information that we're missing? Is it painful? I assume so.
Of course it is.
Why did you get it done? That's the question. Why did you get it done?
Yeah.
Why is it important to have a hairless arse? Turing Breaks on XFM. Ricky Gervais, Steve and Karl Pilkington. Karl, are we doing your, story with a song?
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Well,
Excited about it.
Like what was it the other week? We did,
Babushka.
Did Babushka.
Yeah. Pinball Wizard. You said if he's deaf, dumb and blind, he doesn't even know he's playing pinball, which is...
I just said, don't go to putting money in it. That's all I'm saying. Let him play pinball, but don't waste 20p or whatever. Good point. This week, right, do you know I was saying...
It is a good point, actually.
It is a good point.
Again, though, it wasn't a documentary. It was didn't really happen.
Yeah, well, do you know I was saying sometimes I listen to songs, I like a song to be obvious what it's saying. Pinball Wizard was a good story.
You need a song to be obvious.
In the ghetto, it's a kid growing up and all that rough area, gets killed for nicking cars and messing with guns and that. Living in the city, growing up in New York, rough area, how you cope with it and that, right? But they've got to be as simple as that. Otherwise, I'm not that
happy. I've got a brand new combine harvester. It's about like machine. It's brand new.
Yeah.
It's brand new.
But even though it's new, he's willing to lend it out to other people.
That's incredible! Always a new twist on things. Always a new twist on things.
But you say about travelling and that, you like travelling and stuff, but why?
Because I've seen and experienced extraordinary things. I went to Kenya once, I met a man who was a vigilante. He was cleaning up his neighbourhood because the police were too corrupt to do it, carried a sword, and, he was extraordinary. He'd been attacked, but he didn't care, he fought them off. He was trying in this little slum area to try and instill some law and order. He had to arrest his, brother-in-law once. It was a fascinating story, and he was an extraordinary man.
I went to Manchester, and I saw two lads with big heads and webbed feet looking at a house. There was a horse in the living room. I mean...
Leave it then. Listen, I didn't realise it's like 7 minutes to, right?
Well, come on then.
Well, let's do Rockbusters on
do Rockbusters, and you got Monkey News.
Well, we'll see if we've got time.
No, we got to do Monkey News.
Right, listen though, Justin, if he's out in the office...
Oh, look, just quick, do the Rockbusters answers then.
Have you got a winner?
No, I don't even know the answers,
we'll pick one. Alright then, the first one.
Right.
I just got the plastic cup.
Right, the first one was, when I'm ill, I throw up horse food. Right?
Yeah.
That's the clue. The initials were IH.
I got this one.
And that
I must say,
that was I sick haze, because when you're ill, you're sick. What do horses eat? They eat hay. I sick haze. I sick haze is the answer. You got that? Second one, that garden tool you've got, it's not yours. What you doing with it? Right? ND.
That was different.
That was what's a garden tool? A rake. Right? If it's not yours, what have you done? You've nicked it. You've nicked Drake. you've nicked that rake, Nick Rake, right? So that's ND. So you got that.
don't know where
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
The third one, that male sheep sounds well fed up.
Go on.
What's up with it? That was TR. That was that ram. It's a ram. That's a male sheep. It's fed up. It's moaning. Ramones. The Ramones. So they got that as well.
Let's give it to Jenny McKean from Isle of Wight, because she's got all three of those answers, and,
Right, straight on to monkey news. It better be
no, let's play a record. We've
got to do monkey news. It's only 5 minutes to go.
We've got time for a record and then some monkey news, surely.
Oh.
Bit of XTC.
Oh.
Making plans for Nigel XTC. Okay, let's play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right, this happened in Pittsburgh, right? There was a rock band, and they've got this studio in Pittsburgh and what have you, and they're laying down tracks and stuff like that. And in the studio that they use, right, there's this monkey works there. Right,
I love the way he throws that in. Like he throws that in, this monkey works there.
No, it's just got a little gig there. He sort of, it carries the equipment in, guitars, stuff like that.
He doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He just sort of cleans up after the band.
No, he doesn't.
Emptying the ashtrays.
Doesn't
that
happen.
Sort of stuff. It
Doesn't
does,
happen.
That's the gig it's got. Anyway, right.
Gets women out of the crowd that they want to, go with.
With one arm.
Drag them back.
So anyway, right. So the band's in the studio, right? And one of the band members brings some A&R fella to the studio to have a listen to the latest track. Right?
Yeah.
So they hit play, and they're all there going, "Yeah, brilliant, this is good."
Oh no.
Anyway, so the fella says, "Yeah, I like the track. I especially like the bass on it." Right?
Right, this is bullshit.
So
This is rubbish.
So
And they hadn't laid down the bass track?
so this is. Have you heard it? So
No, Karl,
the weird
please
thing
don't
is,
do
right,
this to
so
me.
the A&R fella goes, and
Yeah.
it's like, the band members are stood about, and they're going, "That's good that you liked it." And I'm saying, "Yeah, but what's he on about with the bass?" So they played it
No,
back.
this is rubbish. This is absolute rubbish. Where did you get this from?
Please, because we never get
Where
to the
did
end.
you
Let's
get
hear it.
this?
Let's
Is
hear it.
absolute nonsense.
So they played it back.
Yeah,
right?
and it's the chimp playing bass. Definitely not.
So they were like, "That's weird, we haven't got a bassist." Anyway, so they go, "Well, whatever, right?" So
We
they
haven't
leave.
got a bassist.
So,
They go, whatever, let's go home.
forget it.
Just to recap, you're convinced then that the teachers are asking you to keep diaries so they can keep tabs on you, and then to continue the diary. As there were more problems happening on the estate, they started to add Saturday and Sundays to the school diary to keep an eye on what we were doing at the weekend. I struggled to fill it on a Sunday, as the shop I got potatoes and bread from was shut on a Sunday. I had to go over to Shepherd's Bush to meet someone. I got the tube. There was a badly burnt man on the tube. It's amazing how the body can continue through quite a lot of bad stuff. It got me thinking about how much stuff you could remove in your body, one by one, without dying. If it was a competition, the cockroach would win, as it can live for a week without a head.
I just mean, like, say if, you know, they run out of ideas for TV programmes and that, right? They get someone who isn't well. They go, "Look, do you mind if we make a programme on you?" And what they do, they sit them in the bed, and they go, "Right, what we're going to do now is take out the heart, but replace it with a pacemaker." Right, go on.
No. Sorry, people with pacemakers don't have their heart taken out and a pacemaker popped in.
Alright then, some sort of machine. What I'm getting to is...
Have you been playing Operation?
What I mean is, the big finale would just be a head chatting with loads of wires going into it, and it's like, look what we can do with science.
That's what the programme's called. It's the same every week. The volunteer is just a head with loads of wires coming out
Look
of it.
what we can do with science.
And he's going,
Goodbye.
"Oh, I feel ill."
Got some post delivered to me today. It was... Oh, this is
This
great.
makes it in the diary.
Got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington.
I don't know why that's so funny. Oh, God.
I got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington. I opened it and the first sentence read, "Dear Mr. K. Dilkington, you're one of our most valuable customers." I put it in the bin. Thought I would learn some new words, as Steve always says I don't use enough different words. I read in the Fortean Times that the word "whew" means An ugly female ghost with drooping breasts.
What do you mean?
Is that how am I pronouncing
Who's
that right?
using that word? Who is using that word?
It was just W-E-W-E.
Let's call it a woo. An ugly female ghost with drooping breasts. I think I'm right when I say there are too many words in the world. I don't think I will ever get round to using the word woo. Watched a health programme. Wasn't watching it properly, but heard some doctors say that we only get so many heartbeats in a lifetime, so don't do too much exercise. I told Suzanne, and she said I probably hadn't heard it right. We got talking about death. Suzanne said she didn't like thinking about it. I said she might end up being a woo. I was chuffed as I'd managed to use my new word. I went to the supermarket to get tonight's tea. On the way, I stopped and looked in the fishmongers at all the different fish they had in the window. It's like a child in one of those kids' TV shows.
I know.
Mr. Pilkington went to the fishmonger. He stopped and looked at all the fish in the window.
Hello, Mr. Dilkington, they said.
There was a newspaper clipping stuck on the glass about a two-headed fish that they've made in Taiwan. I don't see the point in doing this, as a fish having two heads ain't going to solve the world's hunger problems, as the head is the bit you throw away. Invent a fish with two bodies, and I'd say well done.
Good point, isn't it?
Suzanne watched one of her favourite TV programmes. I've told her the telly only goes on if there's something she wants to watch. If there's nothing on, she has to talk to me about stuff I've learnt. Like Descartes. Watched a programme on him the other day. He is the one who said something like, I know I'm about 'cause I dream. Doesn't work for everything, 'cause ants don't sleep. I don't know if I'd like that or not. You don't know if you would like it if you didn't ever
Not
sleep.
sleeping. It's just one long day. I don't know. Don't know how you put up with that. Do you think it'd be a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Because, as you said, it would get a bit boring. You know, your sleep is your rest, your time off. It helps you detoxify. It helps you sort of think things through on a subconscious level. You know,
But don't you ever get it where, I mean, sometimes it's brilliant to have a sleep when you're tired, but don't you sometimes feel
that's
like...
the best time to have a sleep when you're tired.
No, but sometimes when you go to bed and you're not that tired and you're kind of thinking, oh, I'm going to waste some hours of my life now and I'm not really in the mood for this.
Well, that's
sleeping.
just wishing you had longer on this earth doing creative things. I mean, if you didn't have to sleep, you could spend more time talking to a tortoise and going to the toffee shop.
Well, it's that time again. If you'd give us the jingle, please.
Oh, chimpanzee day.
Okay, now that surely cannot be fair on anyone's ears listening.
Right, ages ago, right, about the 1950s,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
there was this gangster knocking about. And do you know how, like,
Was he called Hairy Fingers?
do you know how, like, a lot of gangsters like to get into gambling and that?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, like all his peers and that, all these mates who are like gangsters and stuff, they've all bought horses, right? That they take racing and they make money from them. That don't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, he
And
was
Chuckles the Seagull was no different.
and he was like, yeah, that's a good thing to get into. I might get into a bit of that, right? So he gets himself this horse, right? And there's a big race coming up. That's why he's a bit of a last minute.
And the jockey turns up and it's fine. He's a human jockey and it's fine. Excellent. Okay, well, that was another podcast.
So anyway,
please listen.
Oh, hang on,
next.
there's more.
Oh, go
Hang
on.
on. So anyway, this big race is coming up. He's like, I've got to be involved in this
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I can make a lot of money out of my horse here.
Choose the jockey wisely, then.
So he says to his mate, he said, look, I've got myself a horse and that. He said, we just need a jockey, get someone, sort it out and what have you, so we can get in this race. So,
Go to the jockey club.
His mate's like, yeah, all right, I'll have a word and that, have a look round and that, see if there's anyone decent.
And the
knocking out
good thing
there.
about jockeys is there's never been a shortage of jockeys because a lot of them don't make the grade. So there's always too many jockeys to go round.
Always too many human jockeys.
Yeah, there's never a problem getting jockeys.
Fine.
Go on.
So anyway, right, so his mate says, look, I'm having a problem getting a jockey.
Seems odd because Ricky's just been saying. He's just been saying there's not a problem.
What do you mean? So
Just because the main problem was,
Go on.
a lot of jockeys were aware of this gangster and were saying, I'm not getting involved with this guy. The chances are I won't get paid, he's a gangster, it's not
no,
worth
you
it.
would do it if it was a gangster asking you. You'd be scared of the consequences.
So anyway, he's saying, look, don't be coming to me with problems and that, right? I've got the horse, I want it in the race, sort it out. So they're like, oh, but boss, and he's like, don't give me any of that. Go
Exactly.
sort it out.
They do what he says, so any jockey would do it. Go on.
So anyway, so the day before,
The big race, yeah. Left it to the last minute, okay, but
Yeah.
fine.
and he says, have you got a jockey then? They're like, yeah, but, and he's going, don't worry about it, have you got a jockey? Yeah, but, and he's like, well, look.
He wants
what-
to say, sure, yeah.
So,
they were
he's saying, has he ridden their horses before and that? He said, well, yeah, he has, but mainly, and he's like, brilliant. And he goes, yeah, but mainly in like a circus.
in the jung
No, like in the circus and that. He'd worked with horses and stuff.
in the
apparently.
circus.
It's fine.
So he's like,
It's fine.
that's enough. That's all I need to know.
Well, they'd be too heavy because circus people
so-
are quite built, aren't they? They're
said
be a
so-
bit heavier than the jockey because the jockeys are about 8.5 stone.
He said, brilliant. Get him down there and that, right? Anyway, the race happens.
He didn't want to meet him beforehand. He wasn't worried.
No
about that.
point. Not
No,
bothered.
no.
As far as he's concerned,
It's all
he's
sorted.
putting his money on it and what have you.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
What happened is they were trying to make him put on the jockey outfit,
Yeah.
but for some reason it didn't fit that well.
Sleeves
And that-
too
it was-
short,
it was
legs too long.
It's that sort of problem.
Okay.
So they let him, like, wear his stuff that he wore in the circus and that, because he's comfortable with that. He's happy with it. Do you know what I mean?
of
That's what
course,
he's
yeah,
happy with. Anyway, race starts and what have you. This horse straight out of the track and that high speed, right? This jockey's got a really big grin on his face. He's loving it, right? Everyone's cheering, going, "Who's this? Who's this jockey?"
Yeah.
It's amazing. Never seen him before, and yet look at him.
But they can see his face clearly.
Anyway, Gangster's happy in that because he's won.
But I just want to say the crowd can see the jockey, can they?
What?
The crowd can. I mean, it's
Yeah, but
face
he's
not-
so fast and what have
The
you.
blur, it's a blur, it's all a blur.
He's
right?
he's good at it. I mean, apparently he was
Right.
close to falling off, and people were like, he's gone, he's a goner.
Right.
He's got such a good reach that he managed to grab hold of
Oh,
the...
sure.
Good reach. Oh.
At the end of it, like the winner sort of rides around the crowd a bit,
Yeah.
to sort of, show off and what have you.
Yeah,
And all the women are there, and like women are all dolled up at these events.
sure.
They've all got big hats on.
Sometimes they got fruit on those hats.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, yeah. Right.
And one of the women,
In
one
the
of the
50s,
women,
particularly, Carmen Miranda was very popular. Yeah.
one of the women had like you say, fruit and what have you on it,
Yeah.
a little banana.
Right, some kind of
They're
Cuban
not real.
woman.
They're not real though. The hats. They're
Not real fruit, is it?
No, of
Yeah.
course not. Never.
So it-
But I don't know
Really,
who. I thought they wore those sort of kind of Cuban.
Yeah, but
entertainment shows. I didn't
even
realise
if
they wore them at
yeah, but
events.
even if it's like a big event, you might have a hat with fruit, and it's sort of joke, but it's fake fruit because it would
Yeah.
perish. It
well,
would.
this
but-
this jockey didn't understand that. He'd never seen false fruit.
I don't understand.
But why did the jockey suddenly? Why was he so desperate for fruit? I don't understand.
So anyway, meanwhile, the gangster's collecting his 500 quid winnings.
Yeah.
Right, he's over the moon. He kicks off because of this woman with the fruit.
Yeah, I don't understand. I still don't understand why the jockey would go.
Everyone noticed. Jockey, little monkey fella.
Oh, that makes sense. If he was a monkey, that would make sense.
Yeah.
What year was this? Because I want to.
It was 1950s, and that's where the saying comes from about, like in Cockney slang, 500 quid is a monkey. He sort of put, he put a monkey on it, and it all goes back to the time when
So this happened in England.
in this country,
Yeah,
yeah,
happened
the
in England. So
1950s.
someone could well still be alive that
So,
we could easily
yeah.
contact. That
Well,
would
that's it.
confirm
We
that,
always,
'cause they were at the
there's no
event.
time length on this monkey news. If you've got any, if it's history, if it goes back,
Or if it's
years
made
ago,
up, bullshit.
just send it in.
If it's
to,
bollocks,
If you've got
send
any
it in.
bollocks
If it's
that you
absolute
wanna
bollocks,
send in.
please send it in.
That's this week's monkey news.
Buy it in bottles, Richard Ashcroft on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Now listen up, right? It's the Sony Awards this Thursday. Now, for those who don't know, the Sony Awards are like the Oscars for radio presenters and producers and everything, right? So, and as you know, me and Steve, we love to win. We want to win this one. This is the last time the panel will be listening, so I want a good, clean, tight show,
Okay.
right? So no swearing, joking aside, no swearing, nothing controversial and nothing in bad taste, alright? Good luck out there.
Aren't we a little bit buggered then?
Well, yeah. So, alright, Karl?
Yeah, that's all right. It's just when you say things like, make it a good one. Sometimes it sort of puts a bit of pressure on and things slip out that you shouldn't say and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever had that?
What, when you can't?
It's like, I'll tell
Like
you one,
can't
I'll
laugh
tell you
at a
one
funeral.
story, right? I'll tell you a couple, actually.
Go on.
That one's just come to mind right now, right? There was a fella who my dad was going to meet. I don't know if I've told you this before, right? But, I have told you, when it was a party, and everyone was saying, Dave's coming, he looks like Ken Dodd. but don't say anything. Have I told you?
yeah, go on, what is it again?
And, everyone's like, right, oh, and my dad's like, oh, I've never met him, I wonder if he does look like Ken Dodd, and everyone's saying, yeah, but don't say anything,
Yeah.
because you'll accidentally, you know, say it, and...
The unbunctious, you might go, you unbunctious to meet you.
So, the thing is, when this fella turns up, he did look like Ken. My dad couldn't believe it. First thing he said, nice to meet you, Ken.
Oh,
So his name's Dave. And that's the sort of thing. There was another one, right? At a station that I worked at in Manchester, right? There was this girl who worked in the newsroom, right? And, she had a plastic arm, right?
Right.
And this presenter, nice bloke, he didn't, you know, he's not out to hurt anyone, went up to her, sat down, was chatting for a bit, touched the arm, said, what lovely skin you've got.
What does she say?
I mean, she's probably used to it, so she wasn't bothered. And then, right, this is brilliant. This is a sort of gaff he made on air, right? And like I say, he's a nice bloke, so he meant nothing by it, right? But he does this competition on the air, gets a caller on, right? And he's talking to the woman saying, you know, thanks for calling in and to play, I don't know, what have I got in my pocket or whatever he used to play on the show, right? And talking to the woman, in the background there's this noise, right? Like that, right? So he's talking, and he goes, have you got a pet parrot? She said, no, it's my Down syndrome kid.
Oh, dear. Oh.
The thing is, awards don't matter.
No, I don't think so.
Play record?
I don't think so. So, we're not out to offend or annoy.
Appropriate words there. That's the Smiths and Panic. Don't worry about it, Carl. People know that you haven't got a malicious bone in your body. So, they know it's confusion. Don't worry.
No, it did happen, so it's
I know, yeah. So, what have you been doing this week, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the week I was, incredibly annoyed by Karl.
Why?
No, because I remember you had a little discussion with Karl a while back saying that, you thought he was lazy at times.
Yeah.
And, you know, you had various criticisms of his work.
Yeah.
And I got a call from him, he said, oh yeah, I should have told you, I had a phone call, someone said that they were trying to get hold of Steve Merchant to offer him some lucrative voiceover work. Now, you know...
That is money for old rope.
It's money for old rope.
That's you're in there for about 20 minutes and it's thousands of pounds.
If there are children listening who are still at school, they should definitely, when the careers guy says, what do you want to do? Try and get voiceover work. Just become a voiceover artist. It is money for old rope.
Yeah.
So I can't believe my luck, because, you know, I love money for old rope.
Yeah.
And, I said, well, what's the information? He said, I don't know. I deleted the message. It was on his answer, and he deleted the message. I said, right, when did the message come? He said, last week. So he took a week to tell me that he had deleted the message.
Why, just because it wasn't for you?
I mean, I don't know how selfish that is, Karl.
No, what happened is, right, I got back off holiday. I was at home.
Yeah.
So I called up my voicemail, right, because I can do that.
Yeah.
Remote access, right, because I've got to know what's going on at work.
Of course.
Called in, it was still my day off, I was going through the messages.
Yes.
Heard one from some company saying, we're after Steve Merchant.
Yeah.
We want him to do some voiceover work.
Yeah.
Right? I can't remember the name of it, but I thought, right, I'll remember to tell Steve.
A week later.
It doesn't matter, does it? You still got the message, and they...
What message?
Yeah, but voiceovers have to be done in the next couple of days.
I didn't get the message. All I got was, there was a company, I don't remember the name, and they phoned you, they wanted voiceover work. How does that help me? There are hundreds of thousands of media companies. You didn't take down a number, you didn't take down a name, nothing.
I was more puzzled why they'd want you to voice anything.
He's having a go!
I don't know what.
No, but listen to that voice.
You must be annoyed. You must be annoyed.
I mean, talk about rubbing salt into the wound.
No, but listen to you.
Oh, God. I don't know how you think, I don't know how your mind works.
Well, I was thinking there must be a tractor sale on somewhere.
What do I care? No, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't care. I don't care if they want me to advertise, you know, the latest designs in pirate fashion wear. I will do a voiceover because it's money for old rope. I don't care what you think of my voice. Someone was interested. They were offering me money. And you decided arbitrarily, oh, they probably wouldn't want it. They probably made a mistake. They wouldn't like the way he talks anyway. I'll delete the message.
No, the thing is, right, I get paid.
A girl?
I get paid to sit here on a Saturday, right? Play CDs and that, help out with the show, get you decent prizes. I think I do me bit.
Sure.
Right? It isn't about running your voiceover work.
So hang on, so Carl, let me just get this right. If someone was ever to phone me, right, trying to get in touch with you, to offer you work, you'd want me to just ignore the message. That is what you're saying to me. You'd prefer that I deleted the message, I ignored it altogether. That's what you'd want from me to do. That's what you want me to do.
What, someone's calling you for some
Someone's phoned me, they say, oh, I can't, I don't know, I'm a friend of a friend, I've got your number, Steve, I would love to use Karl Pilkington for an
Well, you've never
exciting
called me,
sex
so has
scene.
it happened?
Well,
Has it
well, that's
happened?
what I'm saying, in the future, if it was to occur, do you want me to just ignore it? Is that what you prefer me to do?
Well, it's not like that, though. I did tell you, I told you the message.
You didn't what? You told me a week later with none of the information I needed.
Carl, that doctor called last week. That kidney's ready for that, little girl that you were doing that sponsored walk for. I forgot to tell you. Oh, I hope it's still alright. They keep it on ice, don't they? I think they do.
Selfish, Carl. So selfish. And you've lost us a second.
Beautiful bit of Snoop on XFM, yeah? Kicking it with Ricky
old
Gervais.
school, yeah,
Sweet. Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. What has happened to Karl? Because Karl, I thought, is this sort of sweet little buffoon, almost childlike in his ways. You know what I mean? Like Charlie Brown after some sort of head injury, and now he's coming back like that, having a go at, not caring about voiceover work. It's like, because Heat have written about him a couple of weeks, it's like he thinks he's better than you in some way.
I do care, though. You're out of order saying that, right? Because I've sorted you out with tickets for stuff.
He doesn't turn up to.
Carl, I received a phone call, you deleted the message offering me voiceover work, you're as bad as my agent. I'm appalled by it. And I thought we were friends.
At least his agent, when he does it, is losing himself money as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got no comeback. You're still sweet. And to have a go at you've got a mank whine. Right?
Voice.
Like a cartoon Gallagher brother on Coronation Street. I mean, and yes, Steve does sound like a Wurzel, but that doesn't, do you know what I mean? What about Jethro? Jethro does well. Jethro gets on Des O'Connor anytime he wants.
Just has to phone Des up.
And he's on there.
Straight on
and
there.
he's whining like a Wurzel as well. So, to say that is a rubbish...
Alright, apart from that then, what else have I done? That's wound you up.
Well, that's a good starting point, because you haven't even apologised.
No, it's a shock, because that's the first time I've let you down. And I didn't really let you down because I passed on the message.
You didn't, well, we've been through it. You didn't pass on the message. Saying I deleted a message for you is not passing on the message. I mean, I just think what's happened is that you've got a little bit of celebrity now from the show. I mean, I've seen you being recognised in pubs and stuff, or people have come up and they said, are you Karl, because they've seen Ricky. Now, it just seems to me that you are not keeping yourself grounded. You are just, you cannot deal with fame, you've not got the intelligence to cope with the celebrity, and you're just becoming this kind of ego-driven monster.
Now it's getting.
It scares me, Karl. You're not the man I remember.
Look, I put a lot of work into this on Saturday. This isn't even my proper job, right? Where were you in the week?
Oh, he's got you there.
What?
Where were you in the week? I said, let's meet up, let's, come up with some new features and that. Where were you?
Karl, you phoned me about an hour before you wanted to meet. That is not what I would call... I mean, that is arrogance right there.
That's the way I work.
That's arrogance right there. That's ego right there.
He couldn't get, when I came in, he said, where's Steve? I said, Steve can't make it. I had to tell him why. Steve was staying in to tidy up because his landlady was coming. This he couldn't get over. He could not get over that you couldn't make it because you had to stay with your landlady. He talked about it for about the hour when we were working.
What are you talking? Last week I had a bad throat. You wouldn't tolerate that. You wouldn't accept that.
When you had a bad throat, where were you? Why couldn't we do any work then? Because you were at home with your mum and your dad.
You were on holiday, weren't you?
Why didn't you get your mum and your dad to clean the flat?
Oh, he's done it again! He's done you again, mate. Play a record.
How has he done me? What? They live in Bristol.
Yeah, the joke's on you. He couldn't get him to clean the flat.
I don't know who's laughing at who now.
Right, listen.
Can we just go back to laughing at Karl?
Okay.
Because I know where we stand there.
Okay, alright.
Do you want to,
That's the natural order of things.
I know, yeah.
The world's gone topsy-turvy.
he's stepped out of the pecking order.
Right, well, someone who I don't let down, right, are the listeners of this show. Do you want to, read out the prizes for Rockbusters? We'll get that one in.
Oh, we're not doing Rockbusters again, are we?
Yeah.
Well, it was a shambles last week. We cancelled it 2 weeks ago. What?
It just, I mean, there you are right there, Rick. I mean, both you and I, and let's be honest, we're the guys with our names on the poster.
I know,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be your show, and yet,
our faces.
exactly, and yet...
we have to be on tube stations, people laughing at us.
Yeah, well, they're not laughing at me, right? They're saying it
Wow,
was a good
I don't
idea,
know.
they're just-
What do you think people think of the poster, Carl? Seriously.
No, I don't want to know his opinion. It's just going to be insulting. My point is
Just 'cause
this,
he was
Rick.
looking at you.
My point is this, Rick. We used to be able to decide what the content of this show was.
I know.
Now, it's him. It's just him. He wants to do Rockbusters, he gets to do it.
I know. And it's awful, but Tourette's Trent D'Arby. Not only is that offensive, it doesn't work as a clue.